All right, let's go. Ron, Bob, and BJ to start us off.
What's up, Ken? How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Okay, you've been around here a while. You've seen a lot of these Boise State BYU games. I mean, in your opinion, right now, is BYU Boise State's biggest rivalry, and why or why not?
Well, it certainly is this week. But I try to get caught up in too much of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, they're a good program right now. They're just a great opportunity for us to get things back on the right foot. We have a lot of respect for their program. They obviously do a great job. They win a lot of games. They're tough. They're competitive. We even recruit against them. So are they a rival? Yeah. I'm sure if you asked me a different week, somebody else might be our biggest rival, but they certainly are this week.
You look back at the history of this series, and there's so many, 3-point games, 1-point wins, goal line stands. I mean, what makes it such a hotly contested game every year?
Well, you got two great programs. The tradition of both teams, expect to win. And I think that happens every time they walk out on the field. And so they're well coached. They have good players. We have good players. We're well coached. So that's going to lead to a lot of close games. And, I think a lot of our players know each other. So there's some competitiveness in that. But yeah, we're always excited to go play them wherever it is. And we've had some great battles and we need to come out on top on this one.
You guys didn't have Riley Smith last week. Are you expecting to have him back out there this week?
Yeah, I expect to have him back.
So I know Riley's listed as the starter on the depth chart, but I'm curious, how large or small is that gap between him at 1 and then Hopper and Raftal at 2 and 3?
Very small, and feel very good with all those guys in the game at any time. So, I kind of said that before the season, like, hey, we'll use all these guys, and we're going to expect them all to do, everything to our standard, and expect little to no drop off. So I think we're seeing a lot of that.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck this week.
You bet. Thank you.
Kent, just asking some sort of strategic and blocking things. When you got down to the goal line a couple of times, I think it was the week before against Utah State, you bring in Iguran as sort of a fullback or a wingback. How much, when you move people, especially your tight ends, when you move people around, does it make a difference in what kind of blocking that you have based on where people play and who's out on the field?
Yeah, absolutely. And some of that is us trying to utilize guys' strengths, there, but then we're also trying to mix and match and, get certain looks from the defense from them and put us in the most advantageous spot.
When you look at the running game this season, is it as simple as you guys just need to block better? Does it boil down to that?
Well, we certainly need to block better, but we also need to not give up lost yardage a lot of different ways. So if you're talking about just the stat part of it, eliminating the negative plays is the easy answer. But yeah, I mean, do we need to block better? Heck yeah. And that's at every position. That's it. Tight end, wide out. Can the running backs, block for each other better? Can they, maybe get an extra yard here or there? Hopefully, yeah. But not if we turn guys loose on them. And that's been a big focus for us the last couple of weeks. Is just the communication and making sure that we're on point with that. Our guys are prepared for what we're seeing, and I think you saw that on the actual run plays we called last week, that we were a lot more efficient and effective, and we block guys better. But now we got to do the stuff that shoots us in the foot and eliminate that.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of it is basically just in general on the offensive side of the ball, things that hopefully can be improved.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that. Very easy to fix. And I say very easy to fix. I mean, trust me, it's not like these guys aren't working on everything and every minute detail that they've been working on. But some of it needs to be, in terms of some of the snap things and taking negative plays, just the big picture of, hey, let's start with that and eliminate those problems. and then we'll fix the rest of it.
Thank you, Kent. Appreciate it.
You bet.
How you feeling about tomorrow night, Kent? That's the question of the day.
I feel good. I think Wayno's going to go out there and throw a nice ball game.
There you go. Do you get a chance to watch it, hopefully?
No chance.
7:00 on a DVR or something. Come on.
Yeah. By the time I get home, I'll be ready to go to bed anyway.
Oh man, that stinks. I know we always joke like, oh, when's somebody going to ask us about Austin Bolt? And we saw him before the game working out on the defensive side of the ball. And I know there's Spencer was talking about that yesterday. From your perspective, where is Austin? I know he didn't make the impact offensively that some had hoped. Maybe you guys had hoped. Is he now on defense? Is he going both ways? Where's Austin at?
Yeah, he's a guy we're ready to use however we need to use him. And that might change. Last week that was one way. This week he's working again, and we'll see what the package looks like tomorrow for him. So the big thing is Austin is a tremendous competitor, and he's finding ways to impact our team and our games every game. Whether it's in the Utah State game, he comes off the edge, and the punter miraculously pulled it down somehow after it seemed like it almost dropped it or he would have blocked the punt. The fake punt, he's in on the tackle. He's the first guy down on kickoff every time we kick, just about making plays on that. So he is impacting the game, maybe not in the way everybody envisioned it right now, but here's a guy that shows up and just does what he's asked and trying to get better. The reality of it is he's in the process of developing. He's in the process of developing as a football player. He's in the process of developing as a person. He's in the process of developing physically. And is he a guy that still finds a way with that to impact games? Yeah. And at some point we'll be with the ball in his hand. Yes, it will probably. Okay. And maybe it's sacking a quarterback or whatever, but he's got a really, really, really bright future. And it's just a matter of being patient and letting that development take place.
How's he handling the patience side of it? I assume every guy wants to play. I mean, has it been tough for him?
Yeah, I assume so. He's, like I said, he's a competitor. So, man, he wants to be on the field every play. And he believes that you could probably put him in at quarterback and figure out a way to make a play. But, that's just not where it's at this point. Now, could that change tomorrow, or the next day, or, whenever? But it's just got to be a work in progress.
I know, you guys list 4 tight ends on the depth chart, and a lot of people were surprised that he wasn't even in the top 4, when the year started. What I know there's a lot more that goes into it, like you're talking about, but in, I guess what's the easy answer as to why he hasn't been able to play more at the tight end position? What's he not doing that he needs to be doing?
Well, he's just, I would say, the physical maturity. That's the easy answer.
And you said he's doing a package. So is he back on offense this week then, or?
Well, we're working through that exactly. So right now he's on defense right now.
Okay. And is that, how do you as a tight ends coach, I'm sure you see all of his potential there, but I know he's helpful maybe in other ways for a week-to-week basis. How do you guys as coaches a
lot of it has to do with, just what our needs are. And, we're playing different teams bring different things, as opponents. And that's a thing we have to figure out. And obviously our depth plays into that. And then, hey, where's the guy going to have a chance to make a biggest impact? And right now that's on defense. So, yeah.
But I guess final thing, are you still bullish on him you're not giving up on him as an offensive player? Are you still think he's got a lot of potential there? I'm
not giving up on him as any type of player. I think that guy could be a 2-way player in college football. Who knows? He has a very unique skill set, and that's part of it. But it's also the position he's playing, or positions he's playing, requires a certain level of physical maturity. I think of it from only because I did a study on it, but from a tight end standpoint, I'm a tight end guy. But George Kittle, it wasn't like he came onto the scene as a freshman at Iowa and blew it up, or Noah Fant or TJ Hawkinson. Those guys were all 200, 205 pounds as freshmen. It took them a couple years to make an impact out there. think it seemed like TJ Hawkinson, he might've been on the field a little bit, but he got really one full year and then was the 10th pick of the draft or whatever, so I think that's a position that just requires physical development. You don't have a whole bunch of guys ready to come play as true freshmen. There's some, but you don't have a whole bunch of those guys.
Thanks, Kent.
You bet.
Let's go, Will and John.
Hey, Reed, when I say BYU and the matchups with them over the years, what first comes to mind?
Tough fought games. Those go right down to the wire. Very disciplined, performances by both teams are required to win. And when you get away from that's where bad things happen.
Thanks, Reed.
John, go ahead.
Coach, sorry guys. Coach, kind of the elder statesman of this staff. You've been with this program, as everybody knows, a long time. So, you're going through 2 and 3 just like everybody is, but obviously no one's used to it around here. What's that like in a guy in your position who's been so used to winning here and has won everything, and now all of a sudden 2 and 3, it's getting really important? Coach, you're on mute.
Thank you. Every game is important, and that's part of the beauty of being here at Boise State. We expect, and our fans expect us to win every game, and our supporters. But certainly that nothing prevails, or that thought prevails nowhere more than in our locker room and in our building. We expect to win every game, and when we don't, it hurts. It hurts a lot. And the best thing we can ever do is go back and try and figure out why we didn't and fix those problems. And, sometimes obviously there's things on the field that show up and it's like, yep, that was a major problem. But, there's a lot of things that lead up to that. And are we handling our responsibilities in every area of our life to make sure that we handle our responsibilities when it's time to on 4th and 1 on the field? And when we get those things done, then usually it turns out right. And that's been a staple and a hallmark of what we've done here for a long time is handle everything correctly in every aspect, and it'll turn out all right. And we're just working to make sure that we're taking care of those responsibilities and building the right habits to do that and grow in the right way. And then the process should take care of itself on the field.
You were at Arkansas State with Coach Harsin, and I know you build a lot of relationships in this business, and I'm sure you and Brian Harsin have a good relationship. Any comment on him going into Death Valley and beating LSU the way, and just what's going on at Auburn? You happy for your guy?
Absolutely. What every guy, and it's not just him. I mean, all those guys on that staff that I've been with for a long time. Excited for all those guys to enjoy a victory like that. That was a huge, huge moment for them, big moment for their program. But at the end of the day, I got plenty to worry about here and focus on here. But yeah, I mean, would I be happy for those guys? Absolutely.
And one more thing for me, Coach. I know you're fielding a lot of these questions, but back to the Austin Bolt stuff. If the defensive line maybe wasn't in the position that it's in right now with injuries, is Austin Bolt still playing offense? If you could just tell me a little bit about how that went down. Did Avalos come to you and say, we need to take Bolt from you? Just anything else you can say on that?
Not really. I mean, that's all stuff that, I think is best left for us to handle.
I appreciate you, Coach. Thanks.
You bet.
All right, Kent, we're good, man. Appreciate it. Well, best of luck down the program.
All right. Thanks.
That's good.
You bet.
Thanks, Kent.